Hi guys, welcome back to Butterfly Box 78. Whoa, this is way too much. Sorry, I'm setting my intentions, guys, with the Florida water. The little bit that I have left. You know what? My son just came up with a great idea. He said, Mama, you should sell the Florida water. And you know what? I might just do that. But anyway, in the meantime, in between time, I wanted to set my intentions with the Florida water. These messages are for Gemini. So Gemini, this is all about love and your message. And this reading may or may not resonate. This is not for children. These readings are for adults. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. I hate all the long introductions. Give me just a moment to meditate. So I do feel, first I didn't feel much, maybe around the solar plexus, around the heart a little bit is where I'm feeling vibration, but mostly in the third eye chakra or maybe the crown. So let's see where we're going with this. I think it's your third eye chakra. Oh, these don't want to shuffle. Apparently there's enough. All right, so I'm not going to force it. Justice. Contemplation. Fertility. And the 5 of Staves. All right. So, with justice being in the upright, along with contemplation, and this being a love reading, justice in the upright is saying to us that so this is what the book says. Generally, I don't read it this way. I don't need to always read from the book, but in this particular situation, I do. And it says, the need to take more detached viewpoint of troublesome situations. Imagine yourself as wise Athena. You are being fair to yourself. Are you being fair to yourself and those around you? The ability to defend oneself so justice may be done. So I feel strongly that this is about you doing the right thing, which is probably why we have contemplation in the upright, because you're contemplating about doing the right thing. And with fertility also being in the upright, fertility is saying to us that there could be a new relationship, there could be a child. Gemini, you could have gotten somebody pregnant, or somebody, or you might be pregnant, whichever way it goes, man or woman, but whichever the case may be, it's the beginning of something new, a new relationship. I think that maybe what I'm getting is the lover. Your lover may have had doubts about you. You may have had doubt, but you may have had doubts about the relationship. But because I think sometimes it comes across, Gemini, that things are about you and not as much about the mate that you're dealing with. You know, it's almost like you had to defend yourself in order to arrive at the beginning of something new. That may be why the 5 of Staves came out as the overall energy, because there could have been an argument, there could have been, you know, a fight about the situation. Also with the 10 of Swords being underneath, This could represent you in something that you may have gone through, which is kind of what I'm feeling. This is also, Ten of Swords is also the end of a cycle, but this is beginning of something new, which is very interesting because it's up under this argument. There was an argument. There was definitely, you know, I think you were trying to decide, this contemplation was you trying to decide whether or not this situation was even going to be for you. And if it was, how are you going to make this energy correct? With the Ten of Pentacles being in reverse, I think that there was the approach to the relationship was incorrect. You could have been very selfish. Selfishness is what I'm getting. And then with the Three of Cups being in the upright, this could definitely have been a third party situation. Gemini, which wouldn't surprise me. I think you made it. I think what the contemplation is in the fighting and the end of, devastation and heartbreak and, whatever, was deciding who it was that you were actually going to choose this new beginning, this new relationship with. The problem was there was a lack of focus. Okay, but I think very strongly that you were following your dreams because, of course, there was a new beginning, and whoever it was, you were either going to them or they were traveling to you. So there's a lot of positivity that I would say is not necessarily being revealed with the choice that you are going to make or that you have already made as far as a relationship is concerned, whether to keep going with a relationship that you've had and try to start all over anew, or because there could have been a third party situation, just choosing who you wanted to deal with, honestly. Because there are no reversals, I'm not going to clarify anything. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and shuffle for the sexual tarot. This actually gives me a little bit more in-depth look as far as the relationship is concerned, about what it is that we're actually seeing and what we're dealing with. So almost like a clarification a little bit. Oh goodness. Okay. So King of Pentacles, the Hermit, Ten of Chalices, and we'll take this one also. In the overall energy, I'm not going to turn this to the upright. I'm going to leave this in the reverse. And the reason is because of the way the story plays out. Okay. You or your partner could have been involved, again, like we stated before, in a third party situation. You are trying to be fair in the situation when you're trying to make a decision. You're trying to decide. However, there will be a new beginning with somebody. You will make a choice. You will choose. There will be a new beginning with somebody. The way that this person actually views you, or the persons that you're dealing with, is actually the King of Pentacles. So they view you as a very strong, very grounded individual. The person who you're viewing, though, there may have been, this is all about, stripping everything down. Like, you're okay being in the buff because you're the king, but this person isn't quite comfortable with just revealing everything. So I think that also has a lot to do with your decision making as far as somebody you're going to be involved with, which is very interesting because we have contemplation, but then we have the Hermit that came out in the upright on top of it. So the ultimate goal is the Lovers in the back, but it's like, how do I start this? How do I light this fire? It's very interesting because the fire is actually, what's burning is right at his feet. but he's looking at his candle like, oh my gosh, this burned out. This is all about introspection, going within, figuring out what the best answer is for you, because, oh wow, and we got 2 tens that came out in the same time. This is very interesting. This is a great reading. So this is past, this is 2 stories going on exactly at the same time. There's definitely probably a third party situation. So it's like, this person wants you to stay, they're offering something to you, but you're walking away from that situation. But you want to walk into a situation with the 10 of Wands because there's so much passion that you have with this person. And it's kind of almost like a secret love. But it's just so much love. You can see he's got his underwear down. She's all wrapped around him. They are just getting into it. And whatever connection that you have with this person that I guess you may be beginning anew with, sexually, there's just so much there. It's very interesting because we also have the 10 of Chalices. So where this would be, where the 10 of Staves would be in a regular deck, like being guarded, and the 10 of Chalices being the ultimate, like the ultimate emotional fulfillment, love, like the ultimate goal. In this particular reading, I think that you're guarding your emotions, of course, because you don't want to get hurt in the situation. So, you know, with the King, with the overall energy and the King, you know, being in the reverse, that's why I'm reading this, there's emotional instability, okay? And like I said, I don't generally read the sexual tarot in reverse because it explains the story, whether it's upright in reverse because it's so detailed. But there is this I'm going to read in reverse because there's emotional stability. This is that lover that, you know, you're walking away from. You're not really interested like that in this person. With underneath, with the Emperor in reverse, you're not standing within your power. You know, so I think this again is all about, you know, going back to the King of Pentacles, you being stripping down, you know, who you are in order to make certain decisions, that introspection. And then with the 10-10, you know, it's saying, which is very divine, you know, you are guarding your emotions because of course you don't want to get hurt. Yeah, you don't want to get hurt. There's passion. There's a lot of passion there. So, you know, I don't want to go too far deep into that deck because then it's going to tell a different kind of story. That's not really the path that we're on. So let's go ahead and get the wisdom. It's going to be pretty important. Luke, I need for you to, your phone is on the charger. Go charge your phone, son. The one you can actually call from. Did you call from your iPhone? Oh, okay. Is that the one you're using? Okay. You need to charge your other phone. It's in the kitchen. All right, sorry guys. We'll take this one, Spirit Guide. So yeah, I think it's important to be led by Spirit. Listen to what the ancestors are telling you and how you want to be led. And that's how you're going to arrive at your answer. Or you just may not choose anybody. You just may be the Hermit, and you know, these may be fantasies and wish fulfillment of what it is that you really want. But, you know, what this is, the path of wisdom is telling us that you need to be guided by spirit. That's going to be very important. And also the 10 of water in reverse, which is fulfillment. So 10, 10, 10. Oh my gosh. Again, this is, I'm on it today. Boy, these readings, I mean, the past, these readings, I am on the money. So, a lot of things, with these though, whether it's in upright or reverse, they're all very positive. So what this is saying is yes, you need to express your emotion. You can't be guarded when trying to make a decision to be with somebody about your emotions. If you have a deep, heavy passion for them, but you desire the ultimate fulfillment, which is what the 10 of water is, fulfillment, then you need to express that, because that way this person knows. If they can't give it to you in a relationship, they're going to communicate that. And if they can't communicate that right away, that you will actually be able to see you, because you've got the spirit guide, being led by spirit. No, I don't feel like that has anything to do with it. We're going to put that card back. Normally I don't do that, but that had nothing to do with this situation. Okay, we'll take this card. Wow, and 5 of earth, insecurity. So what this is saying is, with the 5 of earth and insecurity, this is telling us right off the bat that, you may not be secure with what it is that you're feeling. And then also going into and making, and when see, that's the thing about you, Gemini, is that because you're an air sign, sometimes it's hard for people to take you seriously because you're all over the place. It is very important that as an air sign, you learn how, and see, that's where this emotional imbalance comes in. You don't want to give anybody, number one, false hope, but number two, a falseness about who you are as the person. So really being raw with somebody, like I'm an Aquarius, and I can tell you that there are a lot of vibes that a lot of, I would say, men get from me that don't make them feel sometimes secure, because they don't really understand how I'm moving. But what's even more crazy is that because they don't understand how I'm moving, that leads to insecurity. That insecurity is actually there because they don't understand me as the person. So if I don't, it's hard to read an air sign. It really is. Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses sometimes have they're really sometimes very, very hard to read, because they're so in their head. They operate through the mind. This is all like a mind thing with them. And so in order for the relationship to work with the path of wisdom, Gemini, you will have to bring about, you're going to have to bring your air back to a groundedness, so that way your lover feels secure about the decision or decisions that you're making as far as moving forward with them. Because the ultimate goal is to be able to turn the emotional energy into the upright. See, this is an outpouring of emotion. That's what it's telling you. This is the ultimate outpour of emotion. But if you're too in the clouds with it, it can still make your partner feel very insecure, which in turn actually makes you feel very much insecure. Oh, this is even more crazy. Whatever spirit is telling you, this is 10-10, which is 20. You being led by this, you really got to listen. Listen. And I opened up on the moon and the 4 of Wands. I'm going to do a quick thing on the side here, Gemini. Let's see. Please tell me how Gemini can turn the energy in the upright. What does Gemini have to do to turn this emotional energy in the upright? Please tell me. Oh, I got 2 cards. All right. So, it's very interesting. So I got the Knight of Swords, which is somebody very powerful coming in, charging the brigade. You know, Excalibur with, you know, he's coming in with his sword. You can tell it's a very powerful sword that he's wielding. But this has to do with truth and honesty. This just has to be, you have to be, there's no sugarcoating any of this, Gemini. You have to be extremely truthful. And then with the 9 of Swords, what you'll find, what you'll get out of this is coming up out of an energy that was so devastating, very painful, and that was due to the last situation that you may have been in. The overall energy being the High Priestess in the reverse. So again, this goes back to communication. That's the biggest thing, is communication. And because there's an imbalance in the sacral, there may be over-sexualization. Gemini, with you and your partner, you're going to have to come, let's see, how do we get out of this energy? Please explain, how do we get out of this energy? No, it's this one. No, we've already. Okay. Yeah. So, again, the High Priestess in reverse. Ooh. Okay. So, what this is saying is how to get out of this energy would be for you, Gemini, to, because there's an imbalance in your gut feeling and in your sacral. Like, you're not listening to your gut, but there is an over-sexualization. The communication is clear, but spiritually, you're gonna have to put this new start with somebody that you're choosing, or this ultimate goal of fulfillment and happiness and abundance. The only way it's going to come is if you dead the situation and really pray about the new situation that you're walking into, or whoever it was that you were choosing, that you were having contemplations, or even if you were contemplating about staying in the relationship that you're currently in, you're going to have to dead the old. You can't keep going back to that, and put in spirit what it is that you want. That's the spirit guide right here. It's spirit, it's God telling you that you need to follow what it is that he's telling you to do. And if you have difficulty receiving, like, you may pray, but you may have difficulty receiving the answers, I can tell you certain steps, certain things that you can do in order to alleviate that is, at night, you can actually, on YouTube, they have these videos for third eye chakra. Put it on the lowest you can possibly put it on, okay? But you can still hear it a little bit, but just put it on very, very low, very, very, very low, and go to sleep. And do that every night for the next 21 nights, or just for however long you can remember. You need to continuously do it. Every time you remember to do it at night, put that on, and that will help open your spirituality to be able to receive more messages. You're an air sign, so everything is mental with you, and you'll start seeing certain things line up, especially if you see a lot of 10s. That's going to come out actually a lot. So that will be your number, 10, 10, 10, or 10, 10. You look at the phone and it's 10, 10. Just be aware of that number, because that is your number. It's the number of completion. Okay, so let's go ahead. And the overall for the path of wisdom was the three of earth, which is growth, and it's just really, this is referring to planting the seed, watching it grow, not just inwardly, not just outwardly, but inwardly. This is about your growth within, because what you're doing is you are creating the stability that's necessary in order for you and this person to grow, or the relationship to grow. All right, let's get the wisdom. Please give us the wisdom for Gemini. Please give us the wisdom for Gemini. Where am I being led? Owl. What did I tell you? Follow your intuition. Those are those gifts from God. That's what Spirit is telling you. And I'm going to stop there with the oracle cards, because again, this death, this being in the upright is again telling us to follow Spirit in order to get the energy back right. It said it here in the path of wisdom to follow Spirit guide and your intuition. The owl is the wisest. So of course, follow your intuition. The overall energy is epiphany, which is what you'll have if you'll do what I tell you and really concentrate on opening up that crown chakra. Because once you listen to Spirit, you will have that epiphany, and you'll seek, what you're seeking is clarity. Okay, and that's just really on a very deep level. Like normally I don't stop there, but I felt like that this was enough. And we'll go ahead and do some angel cards. So let's see here. What's going to pop out for you in the angel cards? What is it that you want us to know? What energy are we in right now? Tell us, God. Oh, sacrifice. Wow. Sacrifice, bravery, and respect. And the overall energy is calm. So it's going to be important for you to remain calm and brave, because this sacrifice is about respect. Bam, there it is. I can't even, I don't even want to try to repeat that. I don't know what I just said. It came from Spirit. But you can rewind and go back to what I said. But this is all about you being led by the Spirit in order to make a decision of the heart. Okay? Because what is your heart? Your heart is your spirit. It is Spirit. It is God. Wow. All right. Gemini, that was your reading. I love you guys. I'm going to stay. For cross watchers, this may or may not have resonated. And for Taurus, I hope that this did resonate for cross watchers and for people watching for themselves. I want you guys to really think about what I said as far as meditating, especially when it comes to your crown chakra. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye.